r/ask Reddit. What has been your biggest freak up leading up to this point in life? I tried to walk across a guardrail and ended up slinging and hitting my gooch in just the right spot that it tore my urethra. Had a catheter for about 3 months after that. Welp. That's enough Reddit for today. This is the worst thing I've ever read. On my 16th birthday my much older brother killed himself. My regret is that I had called him to ask him to come out with my friends and I to celebrate at a local restaurant. But on the first ring thought he probably doesn't want to hang out with a bunch of 15 to 16-year-olds and hung up the phone. They found his body the next morning. I will never be whole again. As someone who wants to kill himself every day with a younger brother, thanks for this comment. We've drifted apart a lot in the last few years and we have more formal interactions than we used to. We grew up inseparable, and I became the golden child turned freak up who lives at home, and he's in school building a great life for himself. I almost feel ashamed just taking to him, although I know he doesn't judge me, if that makes sense. He's quite honestly the reason I'm still here and breathing. We are different. I don't want the things he wants, but I look up to him. Someday I may tell him all these things, but for now he needs to just focus on himself, and I on myself. Love you, stranger. Choosing the wrong degree multiple times. A few years ago finally decided on computer science and I freaking hate it. Only have like 8ish classes left, so I would be stupid not to finish it, but I have no desire to do anything computer science related. Once you have your degree, there are sometimes transfer agreements or accelerated programs that might be an option, so you could study something else in a shorter amount of time. Quitting a job before I had another one. Long story, which lead to my savings being drained and my credit card debt soaring through the roof. I've recovered about a year later, but my savings are basically non-existent as I spent all of my excess paying down debt. Sometimes you need to leave. It's hard to do, but it's usually the right decision. I just quit my job with nothing lined up. I was about to kill myself when I realized that if just quit at least I'd be able to be alive still, and it might be worth it. I'm still depressed as freak, but at least I don't have that shitty freaking job. Holding on to hate and resentment about my dad has freaked up mentally, instead of dealing with it in a healthy way. I've held on to the hate and resentment and have blamed him for everything wrong in my life. I'm in therapy now and trying to unlearn toxic behaviors. I accepted that my hate will not go away. My resentment will continue due to the fact that I have problems developing lasting relationships with men due to abandonment issues. I'm just trying to get above it and do better. Kid with wrong person really ends your life for the most part. I'm in this position. I'm sure I can pick up the pieces, but I know it's going to take a very long time. I've effectively pissed away my youth though. Me too. And it was really hard for many years. But now my daughter is about to turn 18, and she's an absolute go-getter who is getting into a great challenge. I'm so happy I have her. Tried to kill myself when I was 24. Did the whole inpatient thing in therapy. Now I'm 28. Still living with my parents and struggling to win the battle with my mental health. Really frustrating. I just want to be a functional adult. I'm 27 and just got out of inpatient last month. I've been fighting for so long, and I get better, and then I just get so much worse again. I'm sorry. I'm sick of this crap too. We'll get there. Staying with someone for way too long because I thought I could help them. I was 25 when I met her. She was broken and very needy. She had a lot of issues with herself. Mainly she always felt insecure and inadequate. For those times when she was okay, everything was amazing, and she was the best person to be around with. But those times were rare. She was jealous about anyone and everyone. I didn't even hang around my friends anymore because she would make me feel guilty later on, and she could never get along with them. I always thought I could help her, but only after everything fell apart did I realize that in my effort to always be there for her I broke myself. We broke up 2 years ago. I'm now 33 and just starting to fix relationships that I've abandoned because I was too focused on her. I don't blame her at all because that was my choice, but it's been hard. This cut deep. Not because the same happened to me, but because my case is exactly the opposite. My girlfriend broke up with me last week and I've been devastated. But what hurts the most is to realize that I was to blame. I have a lot of issues with myself, and she tried to help me. She was always there for me. But I just kept giving her problems. My problems. I know she'll be okay. But I'll always regret the way I treated her. Being scared of what people thought. We all go through that at some point. It takes a lot of personal growth to overcome that state of mind. Especially when you're in your 20s. This is what haunts me. How many opportunities I passed on because I was afraid of failing or embarrassing myself. What's far more embarrassing, it's living a life you don't enjoy because you were too afraid to make it better. Starting to smoke. I was super heavy smoker. I was driving home from a charity event for American Cancer Society. I recognize the irony. And I stopped at a rest stop to grab coffee. I was having a cigarette and a lady who had barely survived lung cancer came up to me in the parking lot and asked me to quit. She said, "I wish someone just came up to me and asked me to quit. So that is what I'm doing for you. Please quit before it's too late." And so I stopped at the drugstore and got the patch. The process is uncomfortable and it took me a year of using it to finally come off of it, but it's been 6 years since I have had a cigarette. Please quit before it's too late. I should stood up for myself and others multiple times instead of worrying about what others were thinking of me. Edit. Wow. Thank you for the awards and comments. I wish I had some crazy wisdom to impart. But all I can say is I believe in all of you and we've got this. Same. Now when I look back, it wouldn't have made much difference for them, but it would have made a lot of positive difference in my life. Actually, I would have gained respect instead of appearing as a spineless creature. Being a floater. Meaning being friends with multiple friend groups in life without really being a solid part in any one. Left with none eventually. Edit. Floaters unite. Thank you for all the kind words. It's nice to not feel alone in this. I don't know how to be a solid part. People just don't invite me, so there's no point in a one-way relationship. Probably dropping out of my dream college to be closer to my now ex. Regret that decision every single day. Edit. I did not expect anyone to see this lol for reel I just signed up for a did today, but thank you all for the words of encouragement and sharing your experiences too. It's kind of comforting in a weird way knowing that I'm not the only one to make this mistake. Is the dream college no longer an option? It's still very much an option, but nowhere near viable with my current situation. That was a very trying time in my life and it kinda destroyed me on the inside, and now I have fears of going back and failing again just like last time. Getting married to the wrong person. It led to a lengthy divorce in which time my ex tanked me financially. It took me years to recover. Edit. Tanked and financially because I don't know how to type. Right there with you on that one. It's been 8 years and I'm just now seeing the light again. Took me 12 years. Lost my house, car credit and eventually my dog because I couldn't care for her myself. My parents took her. Now I have a career. Live in Hawaii. My credit. An amazing partner and nice car. Although I doubt I will ever buy a house again. Feels good. Losing friends because I didn't put effort into maintaining the relationship. Nobody tells you when you're a kid just how hard it is to make new friends once you're past your college years. Me too. And I was very self-conscious of how clingy or needy I could be, and I overcompensated by being distant and cool and unbothered. I hope 2020 will be a year of new friendships for you. Edit. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the replies. So many of us on the same boat. Some can't let and move on. Some are still plagued by those decisions. Sometimes I even avoid my parents' calls because I don't want them to think I can't be independent or worry them over me not adjusting. Sometimes I get a text and sit on it for hours so that other person won't be burdened into an immediate conversation. But baby steps, guys. Tomorrow if I smile at you and you don't smile back, I'm not going to second guess and ponder over it. I'll keep greeting you with a smile. Let's all be friends. Not leaving toxic people sooner. I'm extremely patient and actively try to be kind to everybody. It takes me too long to realize that some people most certainly don't deserve it. Edit. Oh. My first gold. Thank you. Random anonymous internet person. And a plaid too. My goodness. I'm just like you. The only reason I don't hang around toxic people anymore is because they left me behind. Even when I didn't leave them. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. Glad you're not around the shitty people anymore. Not taking care of my teeth. I didn't take dental health seriously for a lot of my life and now my teeth aren't in great shape. Especially my 2 broken molars. And I'm going to need a lot of dental work done to correct that freak up. Please like and subscribe to get more content like this.